The holidays are here and the Black Friday blast has begun, but that doesn't stop new Switch games from being announced. Yet again, we have a smorgasbord of interesting titles, a cornucopia, if you will, Gabe, to stay in the Thanksgiving spirit. And for the first time ever, we have one game on repeat duty that was mentioned in last week's video, now confirmed for this week's. That's part of our 7 new games for this holiday week. We've got 5 brand new titles and 2 release date updates.
Zach, a number of these look actually really interesting. Some we've played before and already love on other platforms. And I figure why not get started with the update here, Zach? The one big update that's making a return.
That would be Smite, who we mentioned last week as a data mine potential that we thought would come from high-res to the system, given Paladin's appearance earlier this year, and now they've confirmed it themselves. You can pre-purchase the Founders Pack right now so that you're ready for the beta beginning on January 24th, something to spice up the first month of the year, and they're bringing a lot of things into this pack. You get the Ultimate God Pack, the Dragon Empress Scylla, Dashing Deceiver Loki, 400 gems, and exclusive guaranteed access to that beta, which again begins on 1/24.
I don't want to confuse people. The game is still going to be free to play when it does eventually launch. This is just if you want to get super early access. They did something very similar with Paladins. It makes sense. It's the same publisher. So yes, you can wait. I know I'm probably going to wait. I don't want to shell out too much for this one just because I'm not that into the game. I've played it before, but I don't want to spend just to be in there early. But if you've been waiting for Smite ever since last week's announcement, this is going to be a good opportunity for you to get ready. And hey, January is not that far.
Yeah, some people thought it was actually going to launch earlier this week. Instead, though, coming in about 2 months. And yeah, one of the perks of having titles like this on the Switch is that it adds to the free-to-play arsenal and gives you some things that you can just grab and get. Like, you get a Switch and you can go grab Fortnite, you can grab Paladins, you'll eventually be able to grab Smite. And that, I think, is worth waiting. We also have a very fondly remembered Xbox Live Arcade game making its way to Switch-aroo this month. November 22nd, Splosion Man is launching. It's the sequel to Splosion Man, which launched on XBLA in 2009. I'd say from the golden years of Xbox Live Arcade, when they did their Summer of Arcade programs, and when they had hit after hit after hit, when gamers were kind of just learning the magic of indie titles, and each one seemed to be special. These games are platformers/puzzlers that I think are totally worth playing, even in 2018. I am absolutely buying this for $15 on November 22nd.
Yes, and Splosion Man has that co-op action, something that the Switch excels at. And Zach, just thinking back on Xbox Live Arcade and the phenomenal games that came from that, that's when we got Limbo. We got a lot of really good stuff for the first time. And it, like you said, was ushering in a new era for indies and games that are not full price but still do really, really well on that old platform. Those were really good times. It'd be really cool to see Nintendo do something similar to that. But for the meantime, Splosion Man coming to the Switch. This is a really good game. Some would say it's even better than the original.
Yeah, 50 single-player levels, 50 different multiplayer levels, and it will include local and online co-op, which is really, really cool. This, to me, is one of the ones that I gotta get on Switch, but it does come from an era that I remember fondly. Shadow Complex, Braid,
yeah, there were so many.
Bring some of those to Switch. It would be really cool to see Nintendo do a summer or winter, I guess they kind of do with their Nindies Directs. That's kind of them focusing, but in terms of a very curated,
one a week for a month,
yeah, that would be super awesome. And maybe it's something they could do. I think it would help a lot with sort of that eShop overwhelm. If you were overwhelmed by Splosion Man, Gabe, please don't touch anything. That's coming to Switch the same exact day. 2 games that are very explosive. This one is a cryptic brain teaser of a game where you are pushing buttons and trying to do your best to not have things go poorly. Your choices and actions will lead to outrageous consequences and over 30 different endings. Scavenge the room for clues, tools, and buttons to solve riddles and trigger explosive events. It almost reminds me of an escape room in video game format. It's been out on other platforms. It's gotten pretty solid reviews. This may be worth picking up, especially since it launches for only $9.99.
Yeah, that's the thing I was going to touch on here. I've seen that the marks are pretty solid in general, and for only $10, I've said it before, you don't need a ton of hours of gameplay for something like this, and like you turned me onto them. Escape rooms are so fun. We've done a good number of them together, so this reminding us of that is probably going to be a good one for us to try. $10, man, not that much. It's a one-player game. It'd be cool if you could do it like together online or something like that, but alas, it is not meant to be. Zach, I'm going to touch everything, though.
Yeah, I remember when you came to my house, you touched everything. You broke my BioShock statue. Thankfully, that wasn't a Switch statue.
It wasn't me.
There would have, if you would have broken one of my Joy-Con or something of that sort, we would have had a serious issue. But Gabe, we could also have a serious issue with Screen Cheat Unplugged. I know you're not a fan of cheating, neither am I, but this game encourages you to cheat. It is a fully remastered and revamped version of the game, which hit Steam a few years ago and was beloved, especially as sort of a YouTube game. It's releasing on Switch November 29th for $12.99, a 25% pre-order discount being offered for a limited time. They say it has a graphical overhaul, new and remixed maps, remastered weapons, updated UI, full support for single Joy-Con, dual Joy-Con, Pro Controller, and an entirely new soundtrack.
Hey, nowadays you can't really be too sure if a Pro Controller is going to be supported or not. How you doing, Pokemon Let's Go? We like you a whole lot. But hey, I remember this game. It's very vibrant. It's very wacky and zany. I've never played it. Have you?
I have not. You will be invisible, and it forces you to look at other players' screens to, quote, cheat your way to victory, which is a pretty cool concept. And
you are going to do fantastic at this. I'll let you guys know.
I am as fair as they come. I'm the honest Tom of this generation.
We have videos that prove otherwise.
Zippy Zap does not make me a cheater just because the move is really good and Pikachu is superior to Eevee, okay? It's going to be okay. This one, does look a lot of fun. I love that they call out that it has all the control options, and it's an improved version coming to Switch that's pretty fantastic, and I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
In about a week, we can cheat our way to victory.
Okay, you will.
RollerCoaster Tycoon Adventures, another blast from the past, gets its release date update. It's coming to Switch on December 13th. My birthday, another birthday game for me, Gabe. I've got Grease or Gris or Gris. And now I have RollerCoaster or RollerCoaster or RollerCoaster Tycoon Adventures. This is a RollerCoaster Tycoon extravaganza coming to the Switch. I'm a little worried of how well it's going to play and perform. RollerCoaster Tycoon was one of my favorite games as a middle schooler. It hasn't been anywhere near that awesome since. Some of their latest iterations I don't think did that well. Hopefully this one can. But we don't have much longer to wait and find out. It's coming to Europe a little bit earlier, so if you are on that continent, then you can play on November 29th.
Alternatively, you can just get it from the European eShop. That works as well. Zach, I've never played RollerCoaster Tycoon in my life, but I have very vivid memories of when my mother went grocery shopping at Walmart. Just, they leave, I don't know about you, they used to just leave me at the video game section and be like, hey, here, hang out. When I'm done gathering all the groceries, I'll come by and pick you up. Cool. Right. There was kiosks and stuff like that, and right behind those kiosks, it was always the PC games, and RollerCoaster Tycoon always looked so cool to me, and I always wanted it, but we didn't have a PC growing up, so maybe now that it's coming to Switch, I have a PC now, I could probably play it, but maybe I'll play it on Switch. Maybe this will be my first RollerCoaster Tycoon adventure.
Yeah, 200 wacky rides, 3 different modes. You can build parks in the Alpine location, the Moon, the Canyon, the Tropics. It will be 1080p dock, 720p handheld. There is intuitive touchscreen controls. I am going to give it a go. I hope that it works. I hope that it plays well. And I hope that it calls back to the games of yesteryear, because that would be really fun to take on the go, so long as they handle the actual gameplay well. We'll have to see soon. As you mentioned, grab it from the European eShop next week. Last but not least, we've got more Kamehameha action coming to the Switch. Super Dragon Ball Heroes World Mission has been rated and will be hitting Switch. This is a card game, a very different tempo from Dragon Ball FighterZ, which released earlier this year, but there are over 1,160 cards and 350 characters in this card set.
That is a lot of characters, and we had to include this one, even though it's maybe not the Dragon Ball game everyone wants, but it's such a big franchise that I feel like it's worth mentioning, even though it's not a big new RPG or fighting game or anything like that. It's a card game, but the card game on phones does moderately well. Dragon Ball Heroes. Really cool that it's coming to Switch. Zach, are you going to collect all 1,160 cards?
No, I did play a lot of the Dragon Ball Z card game, though, back in my obsessive CCG, TCG days when I was a Yu-Gi-Oh player, a Pokemon player, a Dragon Ball Z player, a Monster Rancher player, a Digimon player, and a Magic the Gathering player. I am excited for Artifact, which is not coming to Switch, and I have loved Slay the Spire on PC, which is also coming to Switch early next year, so there is a little bit of a card game renaissance. We're supposed to be getting Elder Scrolls Legends, which I absolutely love. I'm waiting for that. If I'm honest with you, Gabe, it's going to be Slay the Spire and Elder Scrolls Legends for me, but I trust that you will have a lot of fun with the Dragon Ball card action.
Oh, I absolutely will, Zach, and don't think I'm going to let you get away with this. Guys, I told you he was nefarious. He's trying to cheat you out of games. He said there were 7. He's mentioned 6 of them. There's one more. I'm on to you, Zach. I'm on to you.
All right, well, I thought that was the end of our list, but it's actually not, and this one almost zoomed by me quite literally because Elon Musk wants it on Teslas. The Contra-inspired shooter called Blazing Chrome is coming to Switch in 2019. It was previously announced for other platforms. It was supposed to hit in 2018, but to make up for the delay, they said, huzzah. It's also coming to Gabe and Zach's favorite platform. The game looks really, really cool. Elon Musk is a fan. It's got to be a good time.
And they're also going to make up for the delay by giving Zach and Gabe a Tesla. So that's going to be something. That's something I'm really looking forward to.
I didn't hear that part.
No, we're joking. Really we are not getting free Teslas, guys. So don't worry about that. The game looks cool. I really like Contra. Growing up, I played that a lot. I rented that at the Good Old Top Video that I've made mention of a few times. I won't get into the whole spiel here, but yeah, this one looks fun. I wonder why this, of all games, is something that Elon Musk wants on Tesla. It makes no sense.
He's got to get those. He's got to get those games on the Tesla, and I feel like it fits his style. It's got a lot of chrome. It's got a lot of like intense action. I picture him really appreciating Contra style titles. There's a game that this reminds me of that I loved on NES, and I always forget what it's called. I shouldn't even get into this story, but it is this NES game that I played when I was younger.
NES or SNES?
NES, the original NES, and it reminds me a lot of this. It's not Contra style, but it's like you're like these tanks, and it's like a vertical scrolling game. I always want to think it's called Heavy Metal, but that's not what it's called. And I remember it every few years, and I forget it, and I remember it every few years. It is a tank game for NES. I found it. Heavy Barrel. It's called Heavy Barrel. Can they bring Heavy... Dude, if they bring Heavy Barrel...
Why did they put it in Tesla? Will you get a Tesla?
Yes. Heavy Barrel. Look up Heavy Barrel. If you're not interested by any of these games today, go play Heavy Barrel, okay? It's made by Data East. It is an arcade chaos co-op adventure. It's so good. Gosh, Heavy Barrel. All right, let's talk about the games that are coming to Switch. Well, according to Reggie, if the NES lineup comes to Switch, we'll get Heavy Barrel eventually. But for now, Smite, Splosion Man, please don't touch anything. Screen Cheat, the extra cool edition. RollerCoaster Tycoon Adventures. Super Dragon Ball Heroes World Mission. And Blazing Chrome. How could anyone forget? My favorite of the list, Gabe, it's got to be Splosion Man, which is a day one purchase for this young lad.
Same here. That's the one I was going to pick, but since I knew you were going to pick it, I do have my backup. I don't care what you say. This Dragon Ball card game is something I'm going to sink some time into. You can have your Heavy Barrel inspired Contra likes that Elon Musk is really into. You can keep your roller coasters. I don't care about any of that. Just give me that Dragon Ball card game.
I'm honestly like, it may not seem like a very AAA type week, or one that has like that exciting of announcements just based on their names alone. But I do think this is a very solid lineup, and it actually has at least 3 that I'm going to grab. Splosion Man, RollerCoaster Tycoon Adventures, Blazing Chrome. I guess 4. Screen Cheat Unplugged does have me tickled, so that is pretty great.
Zach, why are you dissing Dragon Ball like this?
I don't want this Dragon Ball card game. I haven't even seen Super Dragon Ball. I don't even know what happens.
I'll tell you.
Fine.
Not now. I don't want to spoil it for the audience, but I'll tell you.
All right. I'm just waiting for the other card games. In the meantime, everyone, let us know in the comments down below which game you are most excited for. Hopefully it's not this Dragon Ball card. I mean, it's fine if it is. But I wouldn't want you to face the same fate as Gabe when you could be in on the RollerCoaster Tycoon action, the Splosion Man action, even that Smite Founders Pack action. But let us know your take in the comments down below. Make sure to subscribe to stay up to date and all the latest and greatest from the Switch and its coming attractions. Get it, Gabe? Attractions, RollerCoaster Tycoon. We'll be back next week with more. It seems like the momentum is just rolling right through these holidays. If we got this kind of luck coming, maybe we'll get a date for Wargroove at some point soon. I would love to share that with all of you if they decide to announce it. In the meantime, though, for myself and Gabe, this is the list for the week. Enjoy your holiday weekend, and until next time, thanks for watching. Switch Force